प्रतिबोधिता भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथिता पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्बत्वामनुसन्ततानि भगवद्वेषिणीम्.
Two types of material course.
Yes, 1 minute. Actually, I wanted to yesterday there was this discussion on this Paraprakriti. There, Shumarji was mentioning about the software part of it.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify one particular clarification is, see, the thing is, the Paraprakriti is supposed to be in the mold of Paraprakriti. In the sense, Karyam is not other than the Karanam. Karanam is Paraprakriti, Karyam is Aparaprakriti. So, in such a situation, the way in which Karyam is, it should be in the same mold of Karanam. Here we have Karanam meaning Paraprakriti, we have discussed this. Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinnam, it is timeless, spaceless, and it is the being, it is not an object. So, it should be in the same mold. So, that is why the Shastra, when it is explaining the model of creation, it takes care that we don't get into any of this physicality of the creation. And in the sense, even when you say a software and all that, there seems to be an effort, a niyati, that this after this, after this, and all that. Okay, the consequential and all that. So that they want to negate. So they are saying, after saying that Anandam Brahmano Vidwan in the Taittiriya Upanishad, having explained what is Atma is Ananda, Satchit Swarupa, which you have discussed yesterday. Now, when it comes to the explaining, the validating the creation, it says, it starts like this. So kamayata bahusyam prajayeti satapo tapyata satapas tapstva then asrijata satyam abhavat, like that it says. So it says, in the sense, it is just so kamayata meaning just imagined, like even in a dream. In dream, everything does not happen in sequence. You don't dream space, moon, earth, tiger, and neighbor and all sequentially. The dream comes, everything is there. Okay. Likewise, so Kamayata is like Ishvara's dream. So the whole waking reality. Yeah? Like that it explains. And also this is being put together properly in the sense to more explanatory notes by Bhashyakara. And he says, Bijasya anta ankuraha iva jagat idam pran nirvikalpum punaha maya kalpita desa kala kalana vaichitriya chitrikritam. The sense, time, space and everything, maya kalpitam, it's all. So it's something like a drawing, something like a dream. Just you splash it and everything comes. Like that it is. So that we don't give any tangibility or a sequencing, or because any sequencing, any tangibility will make us think that there is really a creation, which is not true. The tatparya of the whole, which I was explaining, the Panchakosha Prakriya, all those things, it is only a model. They don't want to give us a physicality for this creation as something real. It is there, it is for Vyavahara. For that purpose they are explaining and saying that the deliberate adhyasa aropitam. In the sense, they deliberately create a certain model where whatever is happening in the waking world is properly explained. Like everything, there is a niyati, there is a niyanta, it is available for transaction, empiricality. There is reproducibility. Whatever you do in a particular laboratory in a given condition and pressure, you can reproduce same way in the same condition and standard conditions, then only it is called a valid experiment. If only you can reproduce it. Likewise, the creation is everything, whatever is happening is reproducible, is available for transaction, there is a functionality and the prayojanam, etc. Those things are there. But it is just a flash in the pan, like even in a dream. And that is the only reality. There is no, like that they explain. Why I am telling this is, when we say it is software, we should not have a thing that it is tangibly put together. No, it's not. We don't get into that. We don't want to get into that because that is not, because the karanam is Desa Kala Vastu Operation. The Paraprakriti which you and I are, the being in all of us is totally, it is not bound by time or space, it is not even an object. That is our reality. And that is the only reality that can stay. That is the only reality that can be changeless. That is the only reality that we can own up and claim and be happy all the time. Because that is our Purushartha. Our Purushartha, our what we want in life is an unchanging Purnatvam. If that is the way, that is the reality, that is what you are comfortable with, that is what you want, and that is what you are, the way in which the Srishti has come about from this Purna being has to be also like that. It should not be bound by Desa Kala Vastu, but it is available. Just temporarily it is like Maya. That is why it's Maya. Just explain it and be done with it. So let us not have any conditioning inside where a software is something operating, etc. That is the idea. I wanted to explain that before we move on.
It is very clear. In fact, what you have said now has gone into my mind very well. It is perfectly right.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Swamiji, one question. See, my grandson is asking, why did God create at all?
You have to, as of now, when the grandchild is asking, we will have to tell them. As of now, we cannot go and tell him there is no creation. The easiest way to answer is there is no creation. It is all in your mind.
Yeah, that is okay.
Okay, for us. But him, it is why God created at all is to allow us to grow. In the sense, for you, your faculty of the inside, your thinking faculty has to grow sufficiently to appreciate the most subtlest of all things. Like, as of now, you are learning 1 + 1 = 2. Then you have to learn higher mathematics. Then something higher, some metaphysical to physical to metaphysical, something abstract. All these things have to be, you have to learn. For you to grow, this creation is given. Just for you to grow.
He says, why should we at all do it?
Because you have to grow. You have to grow. In the sense, you have to grow to, that is where you are, as of now, when you are asking this question, because you want to learn, you want to know more, you want to know more. That for knowing more, the infrastructure is given. That is how you have to explain to them initially. And that's a fact also. Up to a point, it is a fact. Shastra itself tells that Dhyarupa Bhavatapyam Nishprapancham Prapanchate is purely for us to appreciate the metaphysical reality of your being. So it is purely out of compassion. The whole thing has been put together. Even though the Upanishad or even Bhagavan, he doesn't have any tatparyam in Srishti. Like Swamiji always used to make a joke. Vishnu is Lakshmi is always going to tell Vishnu, I tell you, don't do this, don't make this creation, you will get into trouble. People will keep on making demands on you. So, the idea is, there is no real Srishti as such. It is a question of, it is purely for us to, we have all our things, samskaras are all there. And we have to get over all those things. For that, there should be a field of where the samskaras can get exhausted by doing this, that, and all that. For that, infrastructure is created. And so that using the infrastructure, you can grow. You can grow out of it. It is not to keep it. You have to grow out of it and get to your reality.
So he also, that's what. So he also says animals, insects, all so many varieties. He says why all these are created and why we are all created.
To understand,
For the
you are
purpose, what is the purpose?
see, you're telling that by you take a small insect and you observe, just sit and observe how it does, how automatically things are it is doing. Since you will be able to see the intelligence behind, even though you call it an insect and all that, and they put through the microscope and all that, how the thrombosis work, how they take care of themselves, all these things there in the Niyati. And for us to appreciate all that, only all these things are there. For you to appreciate life better, for you to grow, for you to understand things, that is why all these are kept. You have to explain to them that way. That is a fact in a way also, and you have to grow out of it later. That is later. Yeah.
So two types of material costs. Page 324.
Yeah.
Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma is the Swarupa of Atma and at the same time is the cause of everything. A question now arises whether as the cause of everything it undergoes any type of change in becoming the world. Further, does it have any other material apart from itself with which it creates the world? The Shastra makes it very clear that Brahman is Satya and the Jagat, the world, is Mithya. This being so, the world is non-separate from Brahman and so Brahman is the material cause. Here a problem arises. Ishvara Brahman with reference to creation is both Nimitta Karana, efficient cause, and Upadana Karana, the material cause. We can understand that there is an Ishvara who is all knowledge and so on, who is efficient cause. But how can he be the material cause? Any material cause undergoes change to become the effect. If the Lord himself is the material cause, then he too must undergo a total change to become space, air, and so on. Vivarta Upadana Karana. Upadana Karana. Here we have to make a very careful note. When we say Brahman is Upadana Karana of this Jagat, we mean it as Vivarta Upadana Karana. This is one particular word I have not unfolded so far. Vivarta Upadana Karana is different from simple Upadana Karana. Upadana Dana is the material, and as a material, generally we would expect that it undergoes a change to become the effect. This is what we commonly understand as Upadana Karana. This is called Parinami Upadana Karana. It undergoes a change. The example generally given to illustrate this is the milk turning into yogurt. Milk was sweet and liquid. Now it is sour and semi-solid. It has undergone some change. No doubt milk is Upadana Karana for the yogurt, but the yogurt is definitely not in the form of milk. The milk, which is the Upadana Karana, has undergone a change to become yogurt. Similarly, if the Lord is understood to be Upadana Karana, you may think that perhaps he also undergoes some change to become this Jagat. Perhaps as Parinami Upadana Karana, he has indeed become the world. As a material cause, must have undergone a change. If he has undergone a change, he is no longer in his original form. Therefore, all that is here now is the world. Where is the Lord? There is no Lord at all. This is an argument raised by some people to negate the Lord being the Upadana Karana. This is too simplistic. The Lord, no doubt, is a material cause, Upadana Karana. But he is not the Parinami Upadana Karana. He is a Vivarta Upadana Karana. That is, without undergoing any change, he is the Upadana Karana. This kind of Upadana Karana is called Vivarta Upadana Karana. This definition of Vivarta is Swaswarupa Aparityage.
Swaswarupa aparityagena rupantara apattihi. Yeah.
Swarupa aparityagena rupa antara apatihi. Assuming another form without giving up one's own nature. Another example is your own dream world.
An example is your own dream world.
An example.
An example is your own dream world, where there you are the nimitta karana and you are the upadana karana. Without undergoing any intrinsic change, without giving up its swarupa, Atma has become the world in this dream. In the dream, there is a subject, there is an object, there is an action. All the karakas are involved. A karaka is anything connected to an action. Relationships are also included, like this is my house, this is my son, and so on. All these take place there without bringing about any intrinsic change in the Atma. Atma, pure consciousness alone, is in the form of this dream. As in the dream, so it is in this waking state. Now, you can explain all this little.
Yeah, the sense we were discussing that. Like the sense, dream is what? Dream is nothing but your thoughts. Dream, how dream comes into effect? Sense there are some intense emotions going on in the waking world in your transactions. That impression is there in your mind, especially when there are some intense emotions. And when you go to sleep, that is why they say before you go to sleep, you must avoid all these intense emotions, even this intense interaction with mobile or TV and all that. You must go, before going to bed, you must take some calm, 5-10 minutes meditation, or just keep calm and then go to sleep. Then you will have a good deep sleep. Otherwise, what will happen? You are the latest strong emotion which you are dealing with, that even though you may go to sleep because you are tired, you will wake up in the dream. And all these things will come to play there. So, essentially, the dream is nothing but your impressions, mental impressions, thoughts, or intense emotion, whatever you call it. So, there, as I was telling, they are all happening simultaneously. There is nothing like sequentially, oh, a house is made and a person comes, then a relation develops and all that. No, all those things are already there in your thought as an intense emotion. Straight away it comes in a splash, like even in a movie, just as a splash it comes. There's no sequence, there's no order and all that. Everything comes simultaneously and dream. And dream 20 seconds, 30 seconds, lot of things happen, and then either you go to sleep because of tiredness, or sometimes you wake up also. That also can happen. And what they say, even in the waking reality, how you are living only in the mind, which I had explained. You don't see now, right now when we are talking, even though it looks like you are there and I am here, I am talking to something external. But what happens when I see you, when I interact, whatever you hear, whatever I will tell you, and what you tell, everything gets into my mind. In the mind, because of my own understanding or my whatever I have been told, I have been taught, I process and then I come out with an explanation. But everything is happening in the mind, even though it looks like there is a transaction between you and me. But what is happening is, everything is happening in the mind only. So, that is precisely what they say. There is no, there is no Bahir Udbhutam Iva, like Dakshinamurti Stotram, Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam. In your mind screen, the whole thing is happening. There is no Vishwam, there is no world. That is why I was explaining, there is your world, there is her world, my morning world is different from evening world. There is no real world. But it's all there, here. Vishwam Darpana, mental screen. Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam. It is equivalent to that. It is something like that dream. And it is happening there all the time. Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam. Nija Andargatam Pasyanna Atmani Maya. Because of our own lack of understanding, we have been used to thinking that there is a world outside, we are dealing with people and all that from time immemorial. We don't know when it all started, but that is how we have been living. So, Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nija Antargatam. Nijam na nanachindrukom. Actually, there is Nijam, as I have explained, Nijam means not born, but appears. Nijam means born. Ni means not born. So, Nijam na cholra number. Nijam it is only an appearance in our mind all the time. Nija Antargatam. Antargatam means inside. Nija Antargatam. Pasyan. Why it happens? Pasyan Atmani Maya Bahir Udbhutam Iva Yata Nidraya. Yata Nidraya. Like in the dream, we think that the whole thing is happening outside. Bahir Udbhutam Iva, as though it is happening. Appadinu nanachindrukom. Atma Maya. Why? Because of avidya. Maya for Bhagavan, for us it is avidya. And it is happening because of that we are thinking there is a world. Bahir Udbhutam Iva Yata Nidraya. Eppo idilendhu velila varala yat sakshat kurute prabodha samaye. Once you wake up to this reality, like even when you wake up from dream, the dream gets falsified. When you wake up from this wrong understanding due to avidya about this life, waking life, when you wake up from this to the reality, like even told in the second chapter that Sthita Prajna is like in daylight, you are all in night. He says that, okay. And also it is said, even in Mandukya, it is said, as I have told, Dirga Nidra, or like Dirga Swapna, Nidra. It's our waking life also is like a long dream. Or you can call it as a clever man's bluff. That is, Bhagavan has set up in such a way that you feel that as if something is really out there. Because it is available for transaction, it is available for empiricality, modification, there seems to be a prayojanam, consequential actions happening. So we think that, my God, that is reality. But we don't understand. Again, Sedi falls, its cycle goes on. The cycle is going on, who came first, who came last, we don't know. But it gives an appearance that there is a reality. Because reality there should be a real original cause. Whereas between Sedi and Viday, which is the original cause? Both are anadi. That means even though there is an appearance of transaction, but there is no reality. Both are mithya. That is what is explained in the next sentence of Dakshinamurti Stotra. Bijasya ankurahaiva Jagadidam pran nirvikalpam punaha maya kalpitam desa kala kalana. Time and place coordinates it looks like as if everything is real. Because of the time place coordinate. Maya kalpita desa kala kalana vaichitre chitri kritam. Like it is something like a embroidered cloth. Or nula ilta the whole scenario will come down. Likewise, at the Andakalatha example, in the Kalatha example, you can say a movie. What is the reality is only the lighted screen. Everything else keeps changing. So, Desa Kala Kalana, Vaichitriya Chitri Kritam, Maya Kalpi Desa Kala Kalana, Vaichitriya Chitri Kritam, Maya Iva, Vijrumbayatyapi, Mahayogi Va Swechaya. The whole thing is the Swechaya, in the sense, awareful being or a glory. The awareful being in all of us, or you can call it Ishvara, the glory of this is so powerful that it can create a world which appears as if it is real. And throughout our life we are transacting. And the only way to get out of it is to understand the reality of it. It is only that much. It is only like a dream. It is only like a movie. Whereas the reality is me, the Swarupa of my being. Once you understand, all these things will not go. Like dream goes off, you wake up. Movie, you come out of the theatre. But in this case, you cannot come out of it. You will have to be still transacting because there are so many other players who are still thinking it is real. So you have to empathize with them. That is why I was saying, you have to empathize, Daya and Kshama. These two qualities are very important in dealing with the people. You have to be empathizing. Yeah, correct. No problem with it. I will try and do whatever I can to help you. You cannot tell them, no, it is all mithya. No problem is when somebody is going through some serious illness or somebody is having some real mental problem or whatever, you cannot tell him, can't dismiss him. That is being very unethical and also not compassionate, which you should not do. In that level, you must come down. Yes, understand. This is a problem. We'll try and do whatever we can do. We can do. At least we can pray for them if we cannot do anything. But those things are important in dealing with. But in terms of your understanding, you must make it very clear. The whole Shastra understanding is, you must be able to make it all very clear when we go through this. What is Parinami Upadana Karana? What is Vivarta Upadana? There is no Upadana. There is no material. Vivartam means what? There is no material, but still it appears. That is what? That is why we say the Karanam is it itself is Desakala Vastu Aparikshinam. It is not timeless, spaceless, unlimited, limitless being the reality. The creation also has to be of that same order. It cannot be different. But in that case, that boy's question, how is it? How yes, this is how it is. That you can explain. This explanation validate pandradhukku in the prakriya model of creation. Srishti prakriya is to validate what we are transacting, not to say it is real. Upanishadkara and all, they are very clear. Srishti, there is no Srishti. If you really ultimately ask them, why this Srishti, they will say there is no Srishti. And it will be too proud argument in the sense, it will be shutting off discussion. You may not benefit from that. That is why they create this. Okay, this is how it is. You go through this, you understand it, then you will also say the same thing. There is no Srishti. So you will not get buffeted by that. You will just do whatever you need to do in the context of what is very appropriate situation. Then only dharma can work. You will be able to do without any, because you don't have a baggage. You are not looking for gaining anything. You just do what is appropriate to the given situation. That is nishkama karma and all. Karma yoga comes into play. You will be able to do it. Yatharthama panna mudiyum. As spontaneously. That is what they say. What is sadhana for a karmi is yathartham for a jnani. In the sense, he understands the reality of it. He is not, the vairagyam is out of vivekam, not out of any sacrifice. That is why in the Gita also, last chapter, what is Bhagavan explains what is the difference between Tyaga and Sannyasa. Tyaga is, there is still something I and the world, that thinking is there. So you want to, even if you have to give, you feel I am giving. The Tyaga, a sense of sacrifice is there. So some, கொஞ்சம் துக்கம் இருக்கு கையை விட்டு போறது இருந்தாலும் பரவாயில்ல நல்ல காசு கொடுக்குறேன். So the tyaga, sense of tyaga means that the kartrutvam is there, the I-ness is there, I and the world. Whereas sannyasa, there is no second thing. அப்படிங்கிறது தெரியாலிட்டியா இருக்கும்போது இந்த பாக்கெட்ல இந்த பாக்கெட் கொடுக்குற மாதிரி ஆயிடும். There is no big deal. So that is the difference between tyaga and sannyasa. Sannyasa is spontaneous, tyaga is a sadhana, it's an effort. அவ்வளவுதான். That is comes even in the 18th chapter. Just imagine, even in the 18th chapter, after the 18th chapter also he explains that, which you may feel that not needed. But maybe it's all required because so many people are there, so many people from different backgrounds are coming. Everyone has to be explained. That is why 18 chapters. Yeah.
When we say the Lord is look at for the creation, immediately understand Vivarta Upadana Karana. It is like the rope undergoing any change becomes the basis for the seed. I mean, you have to mute your
there's an echo when he reads. Probably then we'll have to explain.
When he explains, yeah. Rope is Vivarta Upadana Karana for the snake. Can I continue?
Yeah.
Parinami Upadana Karana Maya. Since Brahman itself cannot undergo any change in order to be the cause of this creation, it must have some upadhi which is as good as the creation. If the creation is mithya, there will be an upadhi which is equally mithya. That upadhi we call maya, the upadhi for Brahman to be Ishvara, the creator. We can now say from this standpoint that Ishvara has undergone a change to become this Jagat. From the standpoint of Maya Upadhi, we call Ishvara a Parinami Upadana Karana. When we look at Ishvara Brahman as the cause of everything, we look at it as the Vivarta Upadana Karana. That Ishvara you are. When I say that you are that Ishvara, I mean Ishvara as Vivarta Upadana Karana. When we talk about the world as non-separate from Ishvara, it is Ishvara that has become space, air and so on. Here we look at Ishvara from the standpoint of the Maya Upadhi, which has undergone all the changes. When we say Brahman, besides being the Nimitta Karana, the efficient cause, he is Upadana Karana, the material cause. What we mean is that Brahman is the Vivarta Upadana Karana. And because of this Vivarta Upadana Karana alone, Karanatva alone, it is possible to appreciate the Atma as Satchit Anandam Brahma. Once one high school teacher told me that Shankara said that God became the world. The beginning there was God, and then he created the world out of himself. So God became the world. Now there is no God. It is exactly like making idli out of rice. The rice is gone and only idli is there. Later I repeated this as Shankara's philosophy to someone, and he laughed so hard that I knew that there was some mistake in what I had said. But I did not know what the mistake was, and he did not correct me either. It is obvious. The mistake is that God is taken as Parinami Upadana Karana, and a material cause that undergoes a change. We require the technical term Vivarta to understand this. Once we say Brahman is Vivarta Upadana Karana, Brahman remains as Brahman. That alone will work. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma always remains the same. Its Swarupa being what it is, it cannot undergo any change. To understand the non-dual nature of Brahman.
This is precisely what I was telling. See, its Swarupa being what it is, it cannot undergo any change. The Karyam, when we say Bhagavan, every one of us, even whether they understand Shastra or not, everyone understands that Bhagavan is the creator. Like that boy, why Bhagavan created this world. So, what we are saying is that Bhagavan being, the Swarupa of Bhagavan being Desakala Vastu Aparichinnam, which you have understood by going through these first 6 chapters and all that, the whole Tatparya of Bhagavan is the conscious being. Desakala Vastu Aparichinnam. It is not a Vastu, it is not a thing, it is timeless, spaceless, limitless. Once, then the creation that came out of that Bhagavan has to be of the same order. So, the Swarupa being what it is, it cannot undergo, it cannot be different. So, that is how we have to understand. Once we understand that, this Vivarta Upadana Karanam becomes easy to comprehend. We will be able to accept it. How without any material, how can? Because that is from Bhagavan only it has come. So Bhagavan is materialless. He is free of material. He is not bound by anything. So the creation also is the same. How we can ask? We can explain. But you cannot say why. Because that is how it is. That is Bhagavan is Desakala Vastu Aparichinnam, the being, timeless, spaceless, limitless, the being. And when he creates out of himself, the world will also be like this only. You can only ask how and what, but you cannot say why. So that is how he is. He cannot create something which is very different from what he is. That is a very, very emphatic argument. That is the importance of explaining it as Vivarta Upadana Karana. There is no material involved, purely intelligence, the being. That is what it is. Yeah. Read further.
To understand the non-dual nature of Brahman, that there is nothing beyond Brahman and that the creation is not different from Brahman, this Karana Karya Vada Discussion of cause effect is a setup. Through this, one understands that all that is here is Brahman, and I am none other than that Brahman.
Verse 7. Everything has its being in me, like the beads in a string. Mattaf parataram nanyat kinchitasti dhananjaya mahi sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. Dhananjaya, O Arjuna, mattaf parataram, superior to me, anyat kinchit, any other cause, na asti, there is not, sutre, in a string, manigana iva, like the group of beads, mahi, in me, idam sarvam, all this, protam, is woven. Dhananjaya, Arjuna, there is no other cause superior to me. All this is woven, that is, has its being in me, like the beads in a string. In this verse, Krishna says, O Dhananjaya, Arjuna, there is no other cause which is superior to me. Previously, he had said, I am the creator of this entire world and I am the place to which it returns. There, he definitely talks about himself as Vivarta Upadhana Karana. He says, out of me everything has come, unto me everything returns. A pot maker cannot say, from out of me came this pot, because it does come out of his efforts. But when the pot is destroyed, he does not go back to the pot maker. If something goes back to its cause, we understand the cause to be the Upadana Karana. The pot came out of clay, unto clay it will return. Therefore, when we say the effect goes unto the cause, it is always the Upadana Karana, the material cause. In saying that the Lord is the one from whom the creation has come and to whom it goes back, we accept that the Lord is the Nimitta Karana, the maker, as well as the Upadana Karana, the material. We have to understand this material cause to be the Vivarta Upadana Karana. So in this verse, the Lord says, in this world there is no cause other than me. Here, na kinchit asti can be either kinchit anyat nasti na asti, there is no cause other than me, or kinchit parataram nasti, there is no other cause superior to me. It indicates that the Lord is the uncaused cause of everything. If there were to be a cause for this cause, it in turn would require another cause and we would get into an infinite regression. Here we are talking of the cause which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, in which the whole world resolves. It is the point in which both the seer and the seen resolve, and that is presented here as the cause of everything. Then Krishna says, Mahi sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. Into me alone all this is woven like a group of beads on a string. Shankara says that this entire world is pervaded by Parameshwara, like even a cloth that is pervaded by its threads. As a tapestry is not separate from its threads, the world is not separate from Parameshwara. Krishna says it is Sutre Manigana Iva, like in one string a group of beads is strung together. By saying a group of beads, he takes into account the variegated nature of the world. As beads of various shapes, sizes, colors and values are strung together in a single string, similarly in me, Paramatma alone, this world with its variety is strung. As Pratyekatma, I am the truth of everything that is here. The limitation of this example is that the beads are different from the string. This is duality. The thread runs through the beads but is distinct from it. Parameshwara can also say, I am the thread of all the beings, but I am distinct from all of them, being the basis of all of them and being Asanga at the same time. But here there is no duality. Anything one experiences is not separate from Atma, the sustaining factor. Therefore, I am Atma, the Pratyekatma of all beings, experiencing different worlds. This is another meaning. Swamiji, can you explain this para?
You are
mute, please unmute.
So, see, the Sutra Manigana Iva, that example has got a sort of defect in the sense, like every example, basically an example is from our Vivahara. So naturally you cannot have an example to explain something, the reality which is other than the Vivahara. In the sense, like we have seen before, Atma Upamyena meaning, for explaining Atma, Upama can only one be Atma. Like even Bhagavan used to say, Ravana Rama Yuddham is like Rama Ravana Yuddham. There cannot be a better example. So, this way also, the Sutra Manikana Iva, even though Sutra meaning the string that goes through all the bits, the whole throughout our life, there is a Niyati, Niyanta, that strings together all our activities, all Dharma, everywhere, wherever there is a cause, there is an effect, everything is strung together through like a sutra. Invisible string. We say no, invisible hand of God. So that is there. But invisible hand of God is there, like Sutram. But the monies are different. Meaning the individuals, people are different. So that means there is a second order of reality it comes to, which is not true. Even though the example appears like that, because he says, Antaryami in each one of the individual, in all being is the same Atma only. So that is where this example can be misunderstood. That is what he is trying to say. So what he says, so I am the Atma, the Pratyek Atma of all being, experiencing different world. So this is only an as though, like Vota and Prota, both are threads only in a cloth. That he is explaining next word, next para. When you read the next para, you will get it clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
The word Prota also suggests the expression Vota Prota, the warp and the woof. As in weaving, I am the warp and I am the woof. This variegated tapestry of the world is woven in Sat Chitatma alone. Existence, which is in the form of consciousness, is Sat Chitatma, Brahman, and in this Brahman alone are the modifications of Maya. Wherever there is Maya, I am there, because Maya has no existence apart from me, Brahman. This entire Jagat, which is Mithya, is non-separate from me. Now we can understand how this Jagat is Ishvara Srishti. From Ishvara alone the Jagat has come. Matta Parataram na anyat kinchit asti. In the previous verse, the Lord says, I am the cause of the birth of this creation. I am the place where it resolves. In this verse, he adds, I am the sustaining factor. Not only does the creation come from me and go back to me, it is sustained by me. The essence of each and everything, everywhere, is me alone at different levels. I am the one who is in the form of the subtle elements. I am the sustaining factor of the gross elements. The gross elements can be reduced to the subtle, like matter can be reduced to energy. Similarly, one can say matter is sustained by energy. If the Gita were to be written today, Bhagavan could say, I am energy in the form of matter, and therefore all forms of matter are sustained by me, the energy. Then what is energy? That also can be reduced to Maya, which has no independent existence apart from the Brahman. That Brahman, which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, is Atma. Now he shows how each and everything is non-separate from him because he is the essence of everything. That particular essence he points out here in order to reveal that the world is sustained by him. One can ask Bhagavan, what is the essence of each thing by which you sustain it? What are the characteristics you have with which you sustain everything? A few more verses elaborate this. Verses 8 to 12.
Shall I read?
Okay, please. Swamiji, one minute. This energy part. All forms of matter are sustained by me, the energy. What is energy? Can also be reduced to Maya. So,
Yeah, basically, Maya means what? Maya is very simple. Maya means it is not a separate thing other than Brahman. Maya is only a Yamasa, which I have explained before also. Yamasa, what is not a thing? Which we have been right from beginning, I have been telling that we are the awareful being when we say it is Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinnam. It is not a thing. It is because why it is not a thing? It is, does not have a space and time. Without space and time coordinate, there can never be an object. So when we say there is spaceless and timeless, automatically it is not a thing. So it is Maya. So that is what Maya means is Yamasa. That doesn't, you cannot objectify. So energy also cannot be objectified. We can only see when we can see current, when the two leads come together, then there is a short circuit. You till that you don't know. When you put your hand, you don't know. When only shock comes, then only you know there is electricity. So electricity is energy, but you cannot see it. Energy is, it cannot be seen. Matter can be seen. But the science also says matter and energy are interconvertible. There is no matter without energy, there is no energy without matter. So it is empirically also we know that everything can be explained in terms of energy. If you explain in terms of energy, there is no object. So that way also we can, since a limited understanding can is explained by saying that matter and energy are convertible. There is no matter and energy, but we know there is energy. It is not that just because there is no matter doesn't mean there is energy. There is a whole vyavahara is done in terms of energy by way of electricity. So many things are happening. But electricity only when it manifests in a bulb or a fan, then only we know that there is electricity. But we don't see electricity, right? That is how it is. That is something like Maya. This is an example. So, yeah.
Verse 8. Rasohamapsu kaunteya prabhasmi sashi suryayoh pranav. Are you able to listen?
yes.
Pranav sarva vedeshu sabdake paurusham drishu. Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, Aham Asmi, I am, Apsu, in the water, Rasaha, taste, Shashi Surya Yoho, in the moon and sun, Prabha, light, Surya, Sarva Vedeshu, in all the Vedas, Pranavaha, Om, He, in space, Shabdaha, sound, Drushu, in human beings, Paurusham, strength. O Kaunteya, I am the taste in the water. I am the light in the moon and the sun. I am Om in all the Vedas. I am sound in the space and I am the strength in human beings. O Kaunteya, Arjuna, Rasoham Apsu. I am the taste. I am the taste in the water. I am the essential characteristic of water which you experience in the form of taste. I am the supple element of this gross element which you experience. The cause for water to be water. In other words, I am the essence of water. Essence here means taste because the taste of water is its unique property. If water has a quality of its own, it is rasa, taste, because of which water is a water, that indeed I am. I am the truth of water. What makes a water distinguishable as an element from everything else, that is me, the taste in water. Prabha Asmi, Sashi Surya Yoko. I am the light in these famous luminaries. Sashi, the moon, and Surya, the sun, says the Lord. There is no sun without light, and without sun's light, the moon also would not be visible. I am the light in the sun. I am the light in the moon. Once you are the light in the sun, then naturally you are the light in the moon, because moonlight is nothing but the reflection of sunlight. That sunlight itself is me. I am the essence of the sun, the light because of which the sun is sun, and the reflected light because of which the moon is moon. That is also me, Prabha, the light that shines. Aham asmi, I am. Pranava, Pranavaha sarve videshu, sarve vedeshu, sarva vedeshu. Pranava sarva vedeshu. In all this, in all the Vedas, I am Pranava. The Vedas discuss varieties of things, and all those things can be reduced to one thing, Om. In Kathopanishad, it is said, I will tell you briefly that one thing that is talked about by all the Vedas, desiring which people take to a life of brahmacharya, study, etc. I am Iteyat.
I am Om Iteyat. He says, Bhagavan, that Yamadharmaraja tells, what do you call, Chiketas, the whole Veda, the whole Upanishad, I will explain to you in brief. Sangrahena pravakshemi Om Ityetat. Like Sangrahena pravakshemi, the whole Vedanta, the whole Upanishad, I will explain to you what it is. And then he says, Om Ityetat. Just one sentence, the whole Upanishad can be explained. That is what is being quoted here. Upanishad 1-2-1-5, it says, Sangrahena pravakshami Om Ityetat. That's what is told by Yamadharmaraja. Yeah.
Chandra Rekha, Swamiji. Chandra Rekha. Can you repeat the Chandra?
Not Chandra. Sankshepa pravakshami. Sankshepa means in brief. In brief. Sankshepa pravakshami Om Ityetat. Like that. That is what it means. Yeah.
The Sankshepa thing is not here in this paragraph.
No. It is that is why he has given the quotation. Kathopanishad 1-1-5 tells that. When you go to Kathopanishad and find out, there this mantra will be there. Sankshepena pravakshami Om Ityetat. Like that. Yeah.
Om Ityetat. It is this Om, Pranava. Om is a well-known symbol for Brahman. And also the whole Veda can be reduced to Om. I am that Om. Sabda K. Sabda K means I am the Sabda, the sound in space. Sound is not experienced by any other sense organ except the ears. To reach the ears, sound has to travel in space. So the sound is manifest in space. Also, sound stands for the supple element of space which sustains the grass element space in this space as its cause.
Yeah, that is why, when you go to space, in the sense if there is a rarefied space, you won't be able to hear sound. Without space, sound cannot travel. So that is why space is the subtle element, sound is only gross. That is what he is explaining here. I am the space, he says, as its cause.
So space is vacuum, so there is
it cannot travel. Like space meaning the gross element space alone takes the sound from the person who speaks to the person who hears. Without that gross element called space, the sound cannot travel. That's what he is trying to say. That is why he says, I am the gross element space because of which you are able to hear sound. Yeah.
Then again, I am Paurusham Nirsu. Paurusam Nrishu. In human beings, I am Paurusham.
Nrishu meaning, Nrishu is the Nara. I told you before, no? Nara means human being. Nrishu means plural. Of the usage in Sanskrit is Nrishu means plural of Nara. That's why it is Nrishu.
Nrishu. In human beings, I am Paurusha, the strength. In the human physical body, whether it is a male or female body, there is a certain strength. That strength I am. The body has got the capacity to walk, even the capacity to procreate. That is all Paurusha. Whatever strength or capacity the body has, that Paurusha Aham Asmi. Paurusha means the strength everywhere, wherever it's mentioned in Gita.
Any being Paurusham, the strength. We assume, the problem with science and everything, medicine everywhere, they will explain a phenomenon. They will say this was because of this is happening, because of this is happening. One more question, they won't be able to explain why it is happening. You go to any field of study, there will always be one more question for which they won't have an explanation. They will say that is for the future generation to do research and get a PhD. That is precisely that. The one more thing is what is Bhagavan is. That is what is that being. That is what he says. The strength. Since he is going up to a point. We are not going everywhere. We are only giving as example where all you can see Bhagavan. That is what he is explaining. We can see Bhagavan everywhere, but certain places he is explaining. The strength in all beings is being. Like that, one by one, he is explaining, giving an example only. We have to extrapolate and understand the whole thing is from the being. Everything that is happening is only from the being. The reality of the being only is appearing as world. And all bells strung together is available for transaction. That we have to understand. For us to understand, all these are being quoted. Yeah.
Two elements, water and space, are covered. Now the earth and the fire that lends its heat and dealt with in the next verse, all the elements are not named here. 4 are mentioned and the 5th Vayu we have to add. The idea here is not to enumerate everything but to mention a few things to prove that anything that is here is me. Anything that has a form, a particular quality is me. It doesn't again that uniqueness by anything else. It is my creation, non-separate from me. In each and everything that which makes it so distinct or different, that which makes it so distinct, so different from everything else is also me, and therefore everything is me. Verse 9. Punyo gantak pritivyam cha tejesh vasmi vibhavasau jivanam sarva bhuteshu tapaschasmi tapas Pishu Prithiviyam cha, and in the earth, Punyaha, Punyagandhaha, the sweet fragrance, Vibhavasau cha, and in the fire, Tejas, the brilliance and the heat, Asmi, I am, Sarva Bhuteshu, in all the beings, Jivanam, the life itself, cha, and tapasvishu in the ascetics, tapas, the ascetic disciplines and the results, asmi, I am, and I am the sweet fragrance in the earth and the brilliance and the heat in the fire. I am the very life in all beings and ascetic disciplines and the results in the ascetics. Krishna continues to say that the essence of each object is himself. All have come from me. They are non-separate from me. I am Punya Gandha Prithivyam, the sweet fragrance in the earth, because earth has the special quality of smell. All fragrance is from Prithvi. Krishna mentions the sweet fragrance because that is a special fragrance which attracts people, like the sweet fragrance in a flower. That sweet fragrance, even though it is manifest in various things, has its source only in Prithvi. And therefore, in the Prithvi, I am in the form of sweet fragrance. That is the Sukshma aspect of Prithvi. Tejas cha asmi, ut bhavasu, vibhavasu, in the fire. Tejaha asmi, I am the brilliance. Tejas can also mean heat. The heat as well as the brilliance in the fire are myself. Jnanam sarva bhuteshu.
Jivanam sarva bhuteshu.
Jivanam sarva bhuteshu. Sarva bhuteshu, in all the beings, I am Jivana. The life that is there. Jivana, if taken as that which makes it possible, will mean Anna, the food, because of which the growth and sustenance of the physical body is possible. That Anna, Jivana, is myself. Or We can take Jivana as the life that is present in all living beings. That life, that very prana is myself. Both prana and anna are Jivana. They make all possible. So far, Bhagavan has been speaking of the essence of things. Now he cites certain qualities. He says, Tapascha asmi tapassusu, tapasvisu. I am the austerity in all the ascetics, tapasvins, or the ascetics, those who follow a life prayerful disciplines, prayerful disciplines, tapasyasu, tapasvisu, in these tapasvins, in these ascetics, who live a life of discipline, prayer, and meditation. I am the very tapas. I am that quality that makes them ascetics, tapasvins. That means any accomplishment, even in terms of tapas, is non-separate from Ishvara. All the powers that one can accomplish, the power of concentration, power of absorption, power of purified heart, are called tapas. The tapasvin's power is nothing but the manifestation of what is already possible in an unmanifest form, because we can only tap what is available as a potential. As a potential, we cannot create anything that is not there. These tapasvins only tap the potential which is Ishvara. Once a potential is tapped, it manifests. The discipline is born of the free will of the jiva. But when it manifests, the power enjoyed by the tapasvins is Ishvara. If that result were not there, nobody would do tapas. Like anything else, one does it for the karma phala, the result. The tapas is the means for the result, which is already rocked up as potential in the jiva. That is what comes to manifestation, that is myself. The power because of which a person becomes a tapasvin is also myself. Unless the means is there, no end can be accomplished. And the means to become a tapasvin, like all means and ends, are according to the laws. Those laws are myself. Therefore, the tapas in every tapasvin, because of which he is a tapasvin, is also myself. So I can't say I am the tapasvin unless the I is Parameshwara. And when I am borrowing the tapas from Ishvara, I cannot say I am the tapasvin. Shankara says here, in the tapas that is me, all the tapasvins are woven. We can keep Vavan. Vavan or woven?
Woven. Yeah.
Woven. We can keep on extending this. I am the voice in the musician. I am the voice in the musician. I am the sound in all the musical instruments. I am the very quality in the creation, because of which a thing is a thing. The violin is a violin. A guitar is a guitar. A veena is a veena. That because of which all these are what they are in myself. Verse 10.
I think we'll stop here.
I'll just read the verse.
And then we'll stop. Yeah.
Bijam mam sarva bhutanam vidhi partha sanatanam vriddhir vriddhimatam tejasvi namaham.
Yes. We'll come back and now it's all. Once we have understood till now what we have studied, now it's all smooth sailing. It's all only glories of Bhagavan. With that, we cannot say it is a glory of me. That's how it is.
Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purna